20 lessons people learn too late in life. As we get older, we all learn valuable lessons. Looking back to your younger years, you may have thought, I wish I knew then what I know now. We can't go back and change the past, but we can always heed advice from people who are older, wiser, and more successful. Here are 20 valuable pieces of advice that most people learn too late in life. Welcome to CMTVten. If you are new here, consider subscribing so you don't miss other interesting videos like this one. 1. Stop complaining. So many people complain about small everyday things. They might complain about the weather, traffic, or the quality of the meal that they ate last night. If you're watching this right now, it means that you are living in a first world country. You have access to the internet and you are an educated person. This means that you have so much more than so many other people in the world, and you have things to be grateful for. By focusing on gratitude instead of complaining about your life, it will become significantly better. Also, put yourself in another person's shoes. Do you enjoy hearing other people complain? No one does. We just want to tell the other person that it's not so bad or to get over it. Try to take the perspective of someone else. If you truly cannot get over something, write it down on a piece of paper. This will help you vent, but it also gives you the ability to see your problem from an outside perspective. 2. Life isn't fair. Unfortunately, life isn't fair. Someone might cheat their way to success, cut in line, or get away with a crime. We can choose to either let this get us down or simply realize that it's a fact of life. There is no use in getting upset over this. In fact, karma might eventually catch up with this person further down the line. Bearing that in mind, you can avoid wasting energy pining over how things are unfair. Instead, accept the unfairness of life and choose to focus on the things that went right for you. Many elderly people would probably give you this kind of advice if you asked them to look back on unnecessary things they wasted energy on in life. 3. Money can't buy happiness. Money can't buy happiness is an old phrase that you have probably heard before. Money can help with a lot of things in life. There are plenty of problems that would be solved if you only had enough money to throw at the issue. However, money cannot buy love, it cannot buy true friendship, and it will not make you happy 24/7. Even the richest people in the world still have bad days and still feel disappointed and upset over things going on in their lives. There was a study that found out that money makes you significantly happier, that is until you earn $105,000 per year. Beyond that six-figure salary, the level of happiness pretty much stays the same. The excess material things truly don't make a difference. In fact, if you are making more money, it probably means you have a ton of additional responsibilities that will add stress to your life. In the words of the notorious B.I.G., more money, more problems. 4. Live without fear. It's useless to be afraid of things and to let them hold us back from doing what we want to do. Most of the time, fear is in our minds, and once we actually go to take action on these things, the fear only lasts a moment and we are fine. Think about every time you were afraid to get a shot at the doctor's office. The fear of needles is often more painful than the needle itself. During a speech, Will Smith said, "The problem with fear is that it lies. The daily confrontation with fear has become a real practice with me." He goes on to tell a story of how he went skydiving with his friends. The night before, he could barely sleep because he was so terrified. He spent his entire day feeling scared, up until the moment he jumped. Then, he realized that he had nothing to be afraid of and that it was actually an amazing experience. It was a realization for him that fear is a waste of time. It doesn't serve you. 5. Don't try to change other people. In the United States, 50% of marriages end in divorce. While there are many reasons people choose to split, one of the leading causes of divorce is that people no longer feel compatible with their partner. Some people are willing to admit that when they married their spouse, they had plenty of doubts about their personality. They hoped that someday they would grow out of bad or immature behavior. Others believe that with enough love, they can actually change or fix the issues that their partner has. In reality, most people are not going to change who they are, even as the years go on. It takes a lot of therapy, or a near-death experience for someone to be shaken enough to change. So if you are going to get married, you need to be prepared to spend the rest of your life with the person they are right now. No matter how much you love someone or want to fix them, change always has to come from within oneself. Instead of trying to change someone, try to find someone who is great just the way they are. 6. Treat yourself with love and respect. If you are being treated badly by the people around you, remind yourself that it is because they already have this preconceived notion in their mind of who you are. This does not define who you truly are, and it's still possible to change your circumstances. Start by loving and respecting yourself. Forgive yourself for your past and begin to treat yourself like the person you want to be. Imagine that you were moving to a new city where no one knew who you were. You could present yourself as the person that you truly feel you are inside. These new people will have absolutely no history of what you have done in the past or the mistakes that you have made before. They will judge you based on who you are in the moment. Remember that at the end of the day, you are the only person that will be there for the entirety of your life. You might as well love yourself. 7. Know your destination. There are certain paths in life that are very clear-cut. For example, if you want to be a doctor, you go to college, then medical school, then take on a residency at a hospital. You're a doctor. But for some career paths that are non-traditional, like a YouTuber, there is no formula that every single person can successfully follow. A lot of people have big hopes and dreams, but they give up trying because they get caught up in the how. Without knowing every step of the process, it can be very scary, and many people give up before they even start. Instead of worrying so much about how to get from point A to point B, at least gauge where your destination is. Focus on that intently, and try to manifest it into reality. Soon enough, you will begin to see opportunities all around you that will help you achieve your goal. And as time goes on, you will be able to achieve your dreams as long as you never give up trying. 8. Everything is temporary. Everything in life is temporary. No matter how much we want something to last forever, it will eventually end. Even if a couple is married for a lifetime, one of the spouses will eventually pass away first. When we are young, it's all too easy to take things for granted. Remember that you only have a limited amount of time to spend with your parents, friends, and family. The advice "everything is temporary" can apply to negative things, too. Even if you are going through one of the worst moments of your life, it will eventually pass. By reminding ourselves that everything will eventually end, it becomes easier to let go of things that are bothering us. 9. Never stop learning. Some people go through life on the easy route. People who hate learning in school are eager to drop out or graduate. After school, they immediately want to start working and are not interested in learning anything new. These people are often very close-minded. Without a sense of curiosity in life, you really miss out on so many amazing and interesting things. If you truly want to succeed in life and be as enriched as humanly possible, you should never stop learning. No matter how good you might get at something, this does not mean you know everything. In fact, the people who pretend to know everything often come off as being pompous and ignorant. Always stay curious, and try to learn something new every day. 10. Age is just a number. When we are in our 20s, it feels kind of like a race to get things done before we turn 30. Many people feel pressured to get married, have kids, or buy a house before they become too old to do so. They might also feel that if they have not accomplished something by a certain age, it becomes too late to change their situation or try new things. Age is just a number. So many people look and feel completely different at all ages. For example, there are people between 90 and 100 years old who are still running marathons. You're only as old as you feel. Take good care of yourself, try to live a healthy lifestyle, and never give up on your dreams regardless of your age. 11. Don't be afraid to ask for help. A lot of people are afraid to ask for help because they don't want to appear weak. Or maybe they want to have the pride of knowing that they accomplished something all on their own. Unfortunately, if you're too stubborn to ask for help, this can sometimes hold you back from succeeding. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you really need it. Instead of seeing you as weak, your friends and family will most likely be proud of you for showing vulnerability. And by opening yourself up to be more vulnerable, you might be surprised that other people are willing to share their struggles, too. This can bring people a lot closer. 12. Learn to put your ego in check. Sometimes, our pride can get in the way of a lot of things. If we worry too much about feeding our ego, we can become too self-centered. That can get in the way of our success and happiness. Instead of waiting to speak, focus on what other people are saying and listen to their words. Respond to what they are talking about, instead of talking over them. Once you learn how to communicate in this way, people will like you more. You can have amazing conversations and truly connect with other people. 13. Don't sleepwalk through life. There is a famous Warren Buffett quote, "Look for the job you would take if you didn't need a job." Don't sleepwalk through life. You really want to be doing what you love doing. This is absolutely great advice. There are some people out there who wake up, go to work, and come home just to zone out in front of the TV. This is sleepwalking through life. Instead of just continuing to go through the motions every day, start to do things that you feel passionate about. Remember that you only get one life to do things you want to do. We are not suggesting that you quit your job and completely abandon everything, but try to incorporate more of your bucket list items into each day. 14. People don't think about you as much as you think. Some people go through life feeling self-conscious about themselves. They may be afraid that people are staring at them, judging their clothing, or a number of other things. In reality, most people are just thinking about themselves. Ask yourself what is in your mind most of the time. Probably 80 to 90% of your thoughts are consumed about your own life, so what makes you think that other people are wasting their time worrying about you? This is not to make you feel bad about yourself, but rather, this should alleviate some anxiety that you might feel on a day-to-day basis. If you are worried that people are thinking bad thoughts about you, chances are they're not thinking about you at all. Once you realize this, it can be very helpful to get over anxiety. 15. Don't let fear of embarrassment stop you from being yourself. Whenever you try something new, there is always the chance that you might embarrass yourself. And some people are terrified to let their friends and co-workers know if they secretly have a guilty pleasure. At the end of the day, other people's opinions of you don't matter. You only have one life to live, so you should live it any way you want to. In fact, if you begin to reveal more of your true self, you might find that there are more people who have the same interests as you. Live a genuine life and you are more likely to find others who are doing the same. 16. The sacrifices you make now will pay off in the future. Nowadays, millennials get a lot of flack for going out to eat too much or buying expensive coffee at Starbucks. It can be difficult to imagine how making small sacrifices today can pay off in the long run. But in reality, small changes truly can add up. This is why so many people are adopting the FIRE movement, which means financial independence, retire early. They live an extremely frugal lifestyle so that they can retire in their 40s. On the flip side, if you choose to completely indulge in the present day, you might end up with nothing when it is time to retire. Try to take a step back and evaluate if you are truly spending your money wisely. Start by making a budget, and it will become clear to you how much you need to cut back if you want a comfortable future. 17. Material things don't matter. So many people are trying to become rich so that they can buy the things they want. But at the end of the day, these are just things. Remember back to the moments when you desperately wanted the things that you have right now. Maybe getting the thing was exciting, but did those material things really make you a happier person? Instead of focusing on buying the things on your wish list, try to create a bucket list of accomplishments instead. You may need to spend money in order for those goals to come true. At the end of the day, you will feel far more accomplished by investing in fulfilling your dreams rather than buying new things. 18. Everyone is out for themselves. When you go through life, sometimes it is all too easy to feel like someone is treating you unfairly. Or you might be tricked by someone who you assumed had good intentions. At the end of the day, everyone makes themselves their own top priority. Everyone imagines themselves as the star of their own movie. All of their experiences are from their own perspective, not yours. 19. Family matters more than friends. When we are young, our friends mean the world to us. We would rather ditch family dinner in favor of spending a Friday night out. But at the end of the day, your family are the ones who love you unconditionally. Friends come and go when we graduate school, switch jobs, and break up with boyfriends and girlfriends. But your family is forever. We are not suggesting that you give up your friendships. In fact, there always needs to be a balance between having friends and spending time with your family. But never take your family for granted or treat them like they are second best. 20. It's always worthwhile to see the world. Some people think that traveling the world is something you do when you are a young college student without a lot of responsibilities. No matter how much you have traveled, there is always a part of the world that you have never explored before. Traveling will never be a waste of money because it is giving you a new perspective on life. If you are ever trying to decide between taking a trip or staying at home, you should always go for the trip. In fact, most Americans do not take enough time to go on vacation, in comparison to the rest of the world. You might find that when you come back, you will be refreshed and able to work twice as hard as you did before. Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video.